I'm just talking to you like normal.
Just talk to me.
Yeah.
Well, we can look here and there.
Bit of both.
How are you, brother?
Good yourself, mate?
Good to meet you.
You too.
Everyone, this is Mick.
Hey guys.
I came across Mick on the Man That Can podcast, hosted by Lachie Stuart. So Lachie's a friend of yours, I believe.
Well,
or did you
yeah,
meet
we
him
just
through
met
that,
him.
or?
No, we just it was interesting. Lachie is an example of how beautiful it is to have Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because he talks everything he's talking about. And I was like, mate, we got to chat. I think we'd get along. Went over met him, and yeah, just started chatting, and then next thing you know, told us he wanted me on there after, and we still chat now. Still try to catch up every now and then. So yeah, it's cool.
I had the same thing. Like when I found his Instagram. Actually, I think my mate Julian knows him and put me onto him. I did a podcast with Julian, and he told me about Lachie, and I looked at Lachie, and I was like, man, this guy's awesome. He's all about what I'm about, and then I heard his podcast and heard you, and then I was like, this guy's mad. I love his story. Got to get him on. And that's the beautiful thing about social media, isn't it? You're right.
It's been great. I think everyone thinks it's like, oh, you got to have communication. It's like, this is a way to communicate. You've just got to go to that other part and actually talk and write messages and stuff.
Yeah.
Get a hold of people.
Exactly. When used the right way, it can be an extremely powerful tool. So the reason I reached out to you, obviously, is that you took on an immense challenge in the fitness space, a 12-hour fucking Spartan workout, I would like to put it. Yeah. And we'll dive into that in a moment. But do you want to just give everyone a little background on yourself, who you are, what makes you tick? Quick, like a 5-minute.
Yeah.
Mick, go.
Okay, so basically, I'm Mick Stuart. I have my own little coaching brand called Uncaged, where we're all about creating that ancestral way of living where I grew up in the country and I love the idea of living in communities. You learn something, you share it, and that's what Uncaged is all about. It's about teaching people how they can tap the parts of their mind into parts of their body and heal themselves, like through mobility, breathing, learning how to run better, learning how to better. So that way, if they ever do need to go to physicians and stuff like that, they're making the physicians earn their money, instead of going there for the sniffles. Yeah. So I started out, basically, I used to be 150 kilos about 10 years ago.
What are you weighing in at now?
110 now.
110.
Which is bloody heavy for an OCR runner.
Keep that in mind for later, guys.
But, so I was 150 kilos, and then I had my big change where my wife now at the time, girlfriend at the time, we had a separation, and I was like, how do I want to get her? So I did the first thing I hated. I started running, right, which is now the most thing I love. Yeah, and I teach it. But then after that, got into my garage and started training in a carport style garage. So we're talking in winter, I'd be up at 3 a.m, out there training, and it's some of the best times of my life because I just remember doing deadlifts with chains hanging off because I didn't have a lot of weights, and I'm breathing smoke because it is just cold as. So I did all that. After I dropped all the weight and got down to like 94 kilos, I believe, more mates wanted to know how to do it, and they said, hey, could you teach? And I said, I'm going to do this. I've got to learn about it, at least so I can help my friends. So I went, did the PT thing, got the massage diploma as well, and all that sort of stuff. Then just when I fell into the PT industry, in the fitness industry, I just started doing a PT for a while, and then I didn't like the limitations I was being told with the PTs around me, so I wanted to fight. I wanted to try and do it because I had no mobility. Got into CrossFit, and I was like, I need to get mobility. So I started learning different ways to mobilize the body, not just stretching and releasing, but how you can actually, like in yoga, they use the other muscles to actually strengthen. So you actually strengthen that way.
Agonist, antagonist.
So that sort of stuff. So I got into that, and that was really, really cool. And ever since then, it's now, how can I hack my body so that I can teach people to do it themselves, so then they are no longer needing all the crap they think they need. Like for running and shoes and stuff, like you saw my thongs that I showed you that I actually run in. I'm actually going to do a 75k run from my place in Brisbane down to Currumbin just to go get a beer at the Bolter Brewery.
That's awesome. Can I meet you there?
Yeah, that's the deal. I'm going to do that later this year. It's just going to be just a spontaneous run down there. If I need a drink, I'll have my camel pack, but if I run out of water, I'll go to a servo, fill it up, and just keep going until I get there and get a beer at the end.
That's awesome. I love it. I love this guy. You actually remind me a lot of one of my closest mates. I've got a mate named Brendan who I'm definitely going to be doing a podcast with when I go down to Melbourne. He's like you. He's got this mental override switch in his head that when he sets his mind to something, he's like, I'm going to do that. I just know now. I'm just like, yeah, he's going to do it. I just know. Yep. Like, there's no other result. It's just going to happen. You know, like, Haynes, no, it's just like, this switch goes off, and then he sees red, and it's just like, that's where I need to be. Go.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Would you say that's some?
I work on it. Like, I try to find where my limitations are. If I find something that kicks my ass, it's my focus till I can beat it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's basically what I try to do as much as I can. Like, even today, getting a tattoo done on my foot, that was all scar tissue under there, so that was
very drilling in.
Yeah, and he offered Nick was a great tattooist. So I got more come work with him, so it's gonna be great. But
that's awesome, man. You're down at GBH in Varsity, which is where my tattoo artist Parker works as well, which is kind of cool.
It was cool, yeah. It's a cool place. And yeah, he was like, "I can number for," and I was like, "Nah, I want to go through this because my body's going to go through it, so I want to feel it." And even though the last like full day session of that was getting to the, it was cool to get through it.
Edge sometimes,
but that's where you get to see the views.
I like what you said there, where you said, my body's going through it, I want to feel it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's big for me. Like, that makes a lot of sense to me. I'm the same. I've never had a tattoo numbed. But just to use that example for things in life, like headaches, Panadol, you know, like the amount of times people will reach for something to numb the pain, and that can be physical, emotional, whatever it is, ego-based.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're always looking for something to numb the pain, but I think there's great beauty and a lot to be gained from experiencing that pain and just sitting with that pain and living through that, which is a pretty good segue to
my big 12
dive into 12 hours.
Yep.
So set the scene for us. You know, what did you do? Why did you do it? Etc.
All right, so let's talk about why I was doing the 12-hour. End of last year was 12-hour hurricane heat. Now, that's something I really wanted to do.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to do it last year due to financial reasons and stuff like that. Because it's all the way down in Brighton.
What is 12-hour hurricane heat?
So 12-hour hurricane heat is basically for 12 hours, you've got instructors putting you through multiple scenarios and stuff like that. And it's not you just got to be there and survive. It's like if you don't hold a standard, then they might cut you as well. So you got to try and that. So when I was looking into doing that, I was like, okay, there's only one way I know I'm going to do this, and that's if I do something that I think would be way harder than they could possibly make me do.
Yeah.
So I started thinking of some really cool things that I knew would push me in either mentally, physically, or both and stuff like that. Then I also got some friends to chuck in some workout ideas.
Yeah.
After that, I was like, how am I going to do this? Because I didn't want to set the workouts because, like, with a 12-hour, you don't know exactly what's going to happen. So I didn't want to be able to be like, I know when this is going to come and it's going to come. So after I got all the workouts that I asked everyone, like, ideas that people gave me, the ones that were doable, the ones that I thought might be just not doable, but I'd give a go, and the ones that were just stupid, I got rid of.
They all sounded pretty stupid.
But anyway. So I did that. I put them into a randomizer in my phone. So it was like just an app that had like pull out of a hat app.
Yeah.
So that way I had 15 workouts. Now there was no way I was going to get all 15 done in that 12-hour time because some of them were like 2 hours or 1 hour and stuff like that.
But you just wanted to have them there.
I wanted to have it there so even when I got near the end, because I could remember what I put in there, I wouldn't know what was going to come next, and I knew, like, you know, even if it was coming to the last bit, it'd be like, oh, there's still 3 or 4 more workouts, so the possibility could still be anything. It's not like I know what's coming, I know it's going to be there, so it left it completely still open for me. I set the stage. I'm Barbell over in Underwood. No, Adam, I know him, he's a great mate. He let me just use the gym because it's a perfect gym because it's got like only one wall of windows, then the rest is all just blank, and that's where I wanted to set the scene. I wanted to have 4 walls to myself, so I wasn't going to be distracted by the night sky or anything like that, because it was starting at 6:30 p.m. and not finishing until 6:30 a.m.
Just a box.
And then I wanted to get rid of music because everyone talks about using music, and I've sometimes used music to just get myself into a zone. I just wanted to limit any outside factors for it. I just wanted to make it the hardest way I could push myself. and that I wanted to discover how far I could actually, because everyone can get pushed by someone else to get it further.
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to say I can push myself to places darker than others could get me, so that way no person could ever break me.
Powerful. That's powerful. Yeah. Like, truly going on a mission to find who you are and what you are made of inside.
Yeah.
That's just, Okay. All right. So, 6:30 p.m. start.
6:30 p.m. started, so I prepped on my bag and so I had all the gear I might need if I needed to, like shoes and stuff. I needed to change shoes for ankle mobility and stuff like that, or my food, which consisted of about 6 baby food squeezes and 2 liters of water, and I think I also had maybe 500 mils of BCAA already mixed up.
Okay. Baby food squeezer, BCAAs, and water.
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing much else. So
nothing else. Did you have like a big carb load up that day? A bit like anything?
No, I tried to keep it to my normal diet. I normally it was my carb load for the day, because I normally do a big weekend of carb loading because I do little during the week. But nothing out of the average. I wanted to keep it. I try to not change up the way I eat or the way I act, so that way, if an event comes up, I can just go, let's go jump in and do this, or be able to be ready without having to be like, I've got to prep this much for it.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what this was for.
What would you say the toughest, challenge that you put yourself through prior to this was?
I attempted the Ultra Beast.
Ultra Beast.
Yes, that's a 50k obstacle course Spartan race.
Oh, wow, okay.
But I attempted that with minimal prep, minimal diet, and I ended up not getting through finishing it, because with the Ultra Beast, they have a cut-off time for the first lap before you go back onto the second lap.
So you do laps?
You do 2 laps of the Beast, so the 21k plus a little bit extra.
Wow.
And I remember being so under-prepped, nutritional-wise, I cramped in every muscle possible. I'd never cramped before, and so on, to the point that I remember my quads, going up a hill, my quads cramped so hard that I actually just forced myself to bend them and through and just fight the cramps so hard. And I was so depleted and destroyed from that. Like, that broke me to the point that, like, I could not go out on the second lap. I could barely move.
Fuck.
But it was beautiful. It was best. And
it's
so that was the hardest thing.
Yeah.
That was the hardest thing, endurance-wise.
Yeah.
But otherwise, nothing like this.
Okay.
No.
All right. So, let's go blow by blow. Take us through the 12 hours.
All right. So 6:30 started, and I decided, because the gym was 4Ks away, that was going to be my first target, is I've got to run that in 20 minutes with a 20 kilo pack on.
Right.
And then if I didn't make that, I had to do 400 burpees. So I've got this 20 kilo pack on, running through Underwood and Brisbane, stuff like that, watching out for traffic. A couple of lights stopped me too, and I said, you've got to stop at the lights. So that way I would have to push harder. Instead of like trying to run through lights and everything and go traffic, I was like, no, let's stick to it like you would if you were walking, stick to the road rules and just push it.
So you gave yourself this as a buy-in and buy-out, didn't you?
This is just the buy-in, buy-out. I wasn't planning a buy-out because I wouldn't know what stay was, but this is just a buy-in. Right. But I still had to get back home. I could walk back home if I wanted, but I still, there was no one calling anyone up to come pick me up.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So I'm running there. First thing that came to mind was, holy shit, I can't believe I used to be heavy in this. How did I run? But it was a beautiful night, and that was it was good, light. It was not full moon, nice and bright. I was like, when I'm running, that's my freedom. To me, that's my escape. That's when you're running through something, you're just seeing the world pass you by, and you can just feel that weightlessness of your body just going through, and everything's in rhythm, breath, and the rhythm of my body, and it feels magic.
Yeah.
So that was the easy part. That was fun, and I just made it under the cut, so I was very happy with that.
Okay. And during that run, was the anticipation building? Were you like, oh fuck, what have I done? Or were you just sort of just in the zone and just feeling it?
I was just feeling the run.
Just feeling it.
Oh fuck, what I'd done didn't come till the first workout popped up on my phone.
Okay.
So I get in there and I'm like, okay, what's the first workout? Flick it on the screen, press the button, and then bang, it throws it up. It was Kalsu. Now, Kalsu was a CrossFit hero workout.
Yeah.
And that. So these are designed to break you at the best of times. Like, these are workouts on their own that break you. So I was like, okay, we're starting off rough.
Yeah.
So it is 100 thrusters
Yeah.
at 60 kilos. But every minute on the minute till completion, you've got to do 5 burpees at the start.
Fuck.
And that. So that one was a straight bang. And yeah, getting into that, like, started out okay. I was like, thrusters aren't too bad for me, except for being really freaking tall because I got so far to move it. But yeah, I think I got into I 30 reps, and I was just like, oh shit, this we fucked up. This is going to go in a whole different way now.
Yeah.
Pushed through that to the point it was just like 5 thrusters, 5 burpees, 5 thrusters, 5 burpees.
Yeah.
Don't stop. If I gave myself more than a minute where I missed out on the thrusters, I would add another 5 burpees to that round just to penalise myself for being lazy. So the whole thing about this night was not getting comfortable and being able to be like, you know what, I'm going to chill.
Yeah. Not letting yourself fall into that mindset of, I'm doing 12 hours, I can, cut back here, cut back there.
It was do the workout and finish it.
And when between all these workouts, did you have rest periods allotted? Or
no more than 20 minutes.
No more than 20 minutes, okay.
I would not let it more than 20 minutes. It was roughly, I tried to keep them all around 10 minutes. It was, someone was just a water, do a quick little vid on it to be like, yeah, that sucked and stuff. Then I'd flick up the next one.
Yeah.
And then I'd set up for that. So I tried to keep them roughly, I'm pretty sure I averaged about 12 minutes for most of them and stuff.
Yeah.
Just because, again, I didn't want to be like, oh, let's chill out, let's take a 30-minute break, 45-minute break, and start the next one on the next hour. I didn't want to do anything like that. I wanted to be like, no, we're just going to do anywhere from 10 to 15 workouts.
Yeah.
Okay? It depends on how long they go.
It's like top-level stress testing of the body. Yeah.
The next one I got after that, when I flicked this one, was, I believe it was called Arnie.
Okay.
I forget the name. It's a kettlebell one where it's like, you got kettlebell overhead, kettlebell snatches, kettlebell overhead squats, and Turkish get-ups and all this sort of stuff with one side. Then you go the other side and stuff like that.
So it's like a kettlebell flow workout.
Yeah, really, but it's a heavy one. So you're doing it. I think it was at 32 kilos.
Fuck.
So that was that one sucked as well because my mobility is not the best for that one, especially for the overhead squats.
Yeah.
With the kettlebell. Yeah. And that. And again,
so that's single arm.
Yeah, single arm. So you were doing basically, you were like, you had to do all one side, then you did all the other side. And stuff. And yeah, it was like 21:15:9 or something. I can't quite remember what Arnie was like. But again, it's another hero one, and it just sucked. That was a gift from my mate Adam, bastard.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, he was good for that. So that one was terrible as well. Finally, but there was not much thought going through it. It was just doing my thing, that sort of just went a bit blank on that one. There was nothing really that shot out at me when I think about that. Turkish get-ups I love, they were one of the first things I was doing in my garage because you don't need much room, you just need a kettlebell. And when I first started training, the first bit of equipment I got was some kettlebells. And that, I worked a lot of them. Yeah. So that was a bit of fun.
Which is kind of interesting because, they're quite a rare exercise to come across in the conventional PT world. Like, half PTs don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I know. One of my clients called me up one time after when I moved away. He was like, my new PT, I had to show him how to do Turkish get-ups. I was like, mate, get a better PT.
Yeah. PT's more than mirror muscles, guys.
Yeah, but they don't. Yeah, that's the end of the day. It's funny. It's actually funny you say that because I remember talking to a lot of people and they're like, how can you do Turkish get-ups? It's so heavy. I'm like, can't you? It's pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know if you know, but I was a PT as well at some stage for a while. And I remember doing my course and coming out of it. And my brother's a personal trainer. He's been a PT for almost 20 years. Nice. So he's, well adversed with all this stuff. He's very good at what he does. And I just remember coming out and, having him as a guide, coming out and being like, I've got to pretty much forget everything I've just been told.
Yeah.
And start again.
Absolutely.
It's very much the case.
Oh, absolutely. So I did that one. And this time I started feeling, I had like half of my BCAs then. Flicked the next one. The next one was a 60-minute AMRAP of one rope climb, 2 handstand push-ups
That's
and
right.
3 burpees.
And 3 burpees. Burpees was one I was trying to remember the other day.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
That was a good one from my mate James. What was really cool about that one was like I could do row close for days.
Yeah.
I got no problem like with my foot technique and stuff. Like
Okay.
legless, another story again. I'm really freaking heavy and
Yeah,
my weight's in
yeah.
my legs
So I was thinking like
and stuff.
that's
But with the
solid.
when it comes to using my legs and stuff, like, I've got my technique down pat enough that I can shoot up, shoot back down pretty comfortably.
Okay.
But what was funny about that was when I started doing that, and as I got through it, it got to the point I got fearful to be out there because I was like, I could feel my grip, my arms starting to really go, my leg lock's not being the best. I'm like, holy shit, this is starting to get a little freak.
Yeah.
And then same with the handstand push-ups, getting into them, and it's like having to really focus on my timing and stuff because if I was coming down wrong, my neck would be screwed.
Were you doing like CrossFit style kipping ones or just?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah, but even then, it's still 110 kilos coming down on my neck.
Shit, yeah, I was going to say if you're doing strict ones, how the fuck? Anyway.
No, that would kill my
cool.
body. But yeah, so I was doing all those. Kept pushing them until I think I got the last 10 minutes, and I just came down on my neck a little wrong. Now, I heard a bit of a crack. I'm like, okay, everything's still moving fine. Let's go to some ring dips instead.
Yeah.
Because I'm not risking that. So
okay.
I changed the stricts to ring dips
Yeah.
and then finished that out.
Yeah.
I had no problem with my neck, which was good. Nothing bad came from that, so I'm happy I made that decision.
That's good, yeah.
Then after that, I got the big one, the one I was looking forward to doing. This is the one I put in for myself, just for me.
Yeah.
It was a 2-hour blind row. That came up, and I was so excited. Like, really thought, I was like, yes, I wanted to get this one. I wanted to get it soon.
This is the one that I remember like being like, yes, when you said it on the podcast, I was like, yes, that's the one I'd want to do.
Yeah. So I set that up, started rowing, blindfold on, all that. I started getting a little sick because, with the row, you're not touching the ground. So you've got no grounding from it. So there's really no spatial awareness, and just the back and forth throws you out completely. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be sick. So I stopped there, but I didn't take the blindfold. I was like, no, you said 2 hours blind. So I got up, and I knew where at the back of the room, there was a ski erg.
Yeah.
So I basically blind walked my way there, hopped on the ski erg, and just started doing ski erg. I started just doing that, constantly just pulling. This was still today my most favorite part of the workout, just because when I did it, my mind, where it went to, it was like, I started bargaining myself, like, because I told myself, if I broke before I heard my timer go off at 2 hours, I would have to go do a 21k run that night. Go out of the gym, do a 21k penalty run. So I was like, no. And then it was funny because I was like, oh, you got to check your phone. You probably pressed the button and stopped it. And I was like, no, you haven't stopped it. It's just all right. And I was like, no, you might have. And I'm going, well, okay. If you've stopped it, someone's going to be coming. The class starts at 7:30.
Yeah,
you'll hear someone come in. Just keep skiing then. Just keep skiing. Yeah. So I just kept going.
It's funny the mind tricks that play on you, as we were saying before the podcast. When you are blind and when there's no sound and you just lose those senses that we rely on so much as human beings. And we enter that space of like timelessness. And you truly just get to go. You just go within. You have to. Because everything else ceases to exist in a strange sense. Yeah. That's
I mean, that's what I forgot to say. Like, this whole night is done without any music again, and all I'm hearing is the ski going. Then came that part where there was the calm. It felt I was again lost in this beautiful, euphoric feeling of just I was enjoying myself. I loved every moment where I was right then. I was just suddenly happy.
Awesome.
I remember smiling about it, thinking, "This is great. I'm having so much fun here.
Yeah.
Look what I'm doing. Yeah, this is some awesome stuff."
Yeah.
And yes, I'm doing that. And next thing you know, I hear it and I was like, sweet, took my blind off. Didn't look how many far away. I didn't care.
Yeah.
I was just happy I did that. Yeah. And the feeling that came over me, I just felt so, like on this biggest high.
It's like rush of endorphins.
Yeah, it was amazing. I had some baby food after that. And then I got into the next workout, which was Iron Triathlon.
Just quickly, the baby food, is this like...
Just like standard baby food.
Sugar, like just...
Yeah, that's basically fructose. Yeah, a little bit of fructose, bit of basically, some have some. I think I had some sweet potato one.
Yeah.
And stuff. Basically, what you just get the squeezy baby food ones. They're a lot. They're the same as doing the. I find them better than doing the Enduras and stuff like that because they don't sit as heavy on me and they're not that big syrup smack in your mouth.
Yeah. Okay.
So I always grab them, and they're like a quarter of the price for what you pay for that stuff.
Not formulated for high level athletes, so they don't have to whack a price tag on.
Yeah, exactly, so that's what was happening.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Now,
sorry.
Yeah. So yeah, basically, I was very underfed for it.
100%.
Yeah.
And so what stage are we at now?
This is one. Okay, so after the 2-hour run, I just clicked over about 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that was good. That's
more than that. 6:30.
Yeah.
6.5 hours.
Yep. 6.5 hours. Yeah. 1 o'clock. Yep. 6.5 hours.
So
yeah.
Over halfway.
Yeah. That was also the other reason why I liked that 2-hour run because I knew as soon as I'd done that, I would have been over halfway. It was going to take me over the halfway point. So that was really cool. Next thing I got was the Iron Triathlon. Now this is like, I don't know, it's another CrossFit workout. It's where you start at 1 and build up to 20.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 1 bodyweight bench, 1.5 times bodyweight for deadlifts, and 75% bodyweight for squat cleans.
Squat.
Yeah. So I knocked it down to 50, 75, and I believe it was only 125.
Yeah.
Bodyweight ratios, just because at that point I knew like it was going to suck either way doing 1 to 20, but I just know I knew there was no way that I physically would be able to, because that is a big work for the central nervous system on the best of days.
Yeah.
And that still took me an hour and a half to do that, just even at the lighter weight. And an hour and a half is how it takes people. Took the CrossFit Games guys who did it, Dan Bailey and Jason Kalipa, when they decided they wanted to make it.
Oh.
So yeah, I was happy I made that decision. But the deadlift part, like I got a nice heavy deadlift now. I can do 260 now.
260,
and
nice.
raw. And yeah, so this was like 120, and every single rep felt like a 1RM.
I can totally imagine.
Nah.
It just takes me back to any time I've ever done, reasonably heavy deadlifts for high reps. It's true. It's just like every rep's just like, it's that CNS shock.
Yeah.
The body's just like, whoa, man. Whoa. Rep after rep, like 20 reps of each. So of each, you're working your way up to 1 the first round, 2 the second round, 3
threes,
and then 20.
Yeah.
Fuck. Whoa. I like it the other way, when the pyramids are the other way.
Yeah, that's always a good way. That's what they did it. So that, I'm not gonna lie, that pretty much almost broke me.
Yeah.
And that then came the hardest point for me, just to finish, because we're getting into the early hours of the day now. It's kind of happened so close to the end. But I've ran out of all nutrition. I'm just on fumes. I drank the water.
How does that feel in your body?
There was a slight numbness. Like there was limbs were not moving exact. It did not feel right.
Like a lag?
Yeah.
Yeah. From the brain to the muscle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like it was just. And of course I made the one I got to do just before I came near to the end was my one I made up for was a 5K run in 20-meter shuttles.
Okay.
Had to keep going back and forth until I made 5K.
Fuck.
That took me about 45 minutes to do. So it got to like a strut almost, like just a Cliffy Shuffle style. I was smoked.
What would you run 5K in normally?
My best so far has been 22.
22.
I want to get it in. Aiming to hopefully the test I got in a couple of weeks. I'm aiming for about an 18.
18.
That was like 22 was like a year or so ago.
Solid. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
No, but yeah. So I want to get that down. But yeah. So this was like really, really ridiculously slow for me.
Yeah.
But I just back and forth could not. And as I was running, it was like more clothes could come off, shoes were off. It just got down to the shorts and just getting through it.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, I love running, but the best thing I love about running is the fact it's going from point A to point B. You're moving through space. This was just boom, boom, dun, dun, like the beep test on steroids.
It's got to feel so monotonous. Just like, what am I doing?
There was a lot of conversations with myself, like, you're kidding me. Come on, we can
20 meters, man. It's like 3 strides for you.
It was just so much. Like, it was the longest run I've ever possibly felt like for me.
Mm-hmm.
No. And then I think after that, it was the last hour, and I was just, there was nothing left. I know I could not physically do one more workout. I was like, no, I knew all of, there was about 6 more workouts. I knew every one of them. I was like, there is no way I could actually do any of them anymore. My body was almost shut down. I could not, I could barely lift my backpack and stuff. So, but I was like, I wanted to see that 6:30 marker come up. I was like, I'm not quitting. So I loaded everything back into my bag, chucked a couple of weight plates in there, so it equaled again 20 kilos because I already ate all the food and all that, so it wasn't 20 kilos.
Just before you keep going, this is the part that I find really fascinating. Is that exact decision, that that moment where you just go, like, when 90% of, probably 99% of people are going to go, I'm done. I've got nothing left. Like, what is it? Like, what do you think it is inside someone that enables them to just like flick that override switch and just go, no, body, I'm in control?
I think it comes down to, I'd say, are you satisfied with yourself to be happy and be like, yeah, I'm happy with that. That'll do me. Like, it's to settle.
Yeah.
It's that happy to be able to settle is what people do that. Whereas if you don't want to flip it is to, no, I set a goal. This is the mission. This is what we got to do. You're either done or you're not done. That's good enough.
Yeah. So do you think that this comes down to there being sort of 2 kinds of people? One kind that are sort of happy to just do what they feel is their best, and one kind that aren't happy to unless they achieve that goal, unless they reach that point.
I reckon it'd be better explained it as the people that live in grey, and then there's the black and white.
Yeah.
Okay, black and white is simple. You either did it or you didn't.
Yeah.
They're the ones like, I either succeeded and finished what I wanted to do, or I didn't, pass or fail. Whereas these other people are like, oh, I got a 60%, I got a 70%.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
Black and white and grey. Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
Grey allows, just to have that sort of fun zone.
I do my best at the time.
And it's great for some people because when they have people like that, it's good. But we still need those sort of people in the world.
Totally.
I just don't want to be that part.
100%. Yeah. Would you say you've always been a black and white person?
Oh, hell no.
No.
I was lazy as. I was definitely full on grey back in the day.
Yeah. So this can be, a choice that you make and a change in your life.
Everything I've done and am doing has literally been a choice I've made and changed. It's one thing that's always my dad really loves about it because he remembers me growing up. He remembers when I went fat and then he'd like, as he says, like, because he was one who was in the army.
Yeah.
He's like, what makes what I do different is these guys that talk about I was in the Defence Force, Special Forces and stuff like this, now I'm coaching people to show them what they do. I never had that. I just said, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm going to find my potential. There was no coach there telling me, this is what you need to do it. I had to do my research, trial and error, and if I failed, I wore it, sometimes painfully.
Yeah.
But in the end, there was never that. I had this certain upbringing that gave me these opportunities to get in this mindset. It was like, no, I made the change. I put myself into this mindset and stuff like that. It's one thing that's why I love teaching people about it because there was nothing special about me. I just did it.
Yeah. Just flicked that switch.
Yeah.
did you have quite a disciplinary upbringing, or
Nothing too heavy, nothing
no?
too bad. Like, I mean, yeah, Dad was in the army, grew up in the country, but it wasn't anything like, you get out of line, you cop a flog or anything like that. My parents
Yeah.
were quite chilled. They're very
Cool.
great people, there was
Yeah.
nothing like that.
Yeah,
They
sweet.
gave me everything that I thought I needed at the time.
Yeah, cool. Okay. So that's something you definitely just grew into and decided for yourself one day, okay, enough's enough. I'm going to be a all or nothing kind of
I don't know about it. I can't really say I decided I wanted to be that way.
Okay.
That sort of just sprung up on me.
Yeah.
It was more about, I know the decision I made that started all was when the day after my girlfriend at the time, moved out. The next day, and I helped her move out, so that was pulling on the heartstrings too. Like, packed the car, drove to the new place where she was staying, unpacked it for her, helped out that way. The next day, I remember standing in front of the mirror, taking off my shirt and saying, "Hey, you really love this girl," because I was going to propose to her at the time.
Fuck, that's rough.
Look at you. There is nothing about you right now that says why should she come back.
Yeah.
She didn't know I was planning this. This was all me. And then next thing I did was just found there was a hill next to us, and I called my dad. Said, "Hey, what do you think I should do?" He's like, "Boy, you live at the base of a hill. Walk. When you get bored of walking, run. Skip the walking part." I just said, "Fuck that. I hate running. Let's go." I just ran straight up this hill. Made notes every time I stopped.
Yeah.
And then I tried to beat those times until I could do it all without stopping. And then I tried to beat those times.
Awesome.
And then I've just, from that moment on, it was put myself in situations where I had to. It was like survival. It was like you're going to burn the boats. That's the best thing. Like I worked at Dan Murphy's at the time, and I would catch the bus there, and it was like 4 or 5 Ks away from there, and I had all my work gear and everything, and I had my training gear in there. So that way, when I finished at night, the buses didn't stop. I had to get myself home. No getting a lift off anyone or stuff like that. I had to run myself home.
Nice.
And Daisy Hills is really hilly, so I had to go up and down hills and all this sort of stuff. Did that every night, sort of thing. And then when I became a PT, same thing. I used to catch the bus into the city, and sometimes if I'd either ride home, and that which is 22 Ks from Brisbane CBD to Daisy Hill. And that, or I would just ride in and ride back. There was no like.
Fuck.
That was the way I lived. I couldn't.
Okay.
Put myself in scenarios. If the bike went flat, I had to carry it. And did a couple times. A few times some tires blew, and I was just carrying my bike. There was no calling for help. If I couldn't run anymore, I had to walk and get myself home.
Fuck yeah, love it.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Okay.
So back to this point where I chucked the backpack on, filled it back up to the 20 kilos because I had the scales there. So I was like, this is going to weigh the same as I left it as when I came there. So I had to chuck some weights in that. I said, I've got an hour to go. We're going to do a pack march until that timer comes around. Just keep moving, no stopping. No, just go for a walk. I went and walked outside.
Okay.
I was like, we've got to get there. We've just got to walk this out.
Yeah.
Still no music. And I just had to just walk and keep moving because at that point I was barely standing. It was a struggle just to keep myself upright, let alone with a 20-kilo pack on.
Yeah, man, I can imagine.
And it was funny because when I finished, one of my friends was like, "Hey, you finished?" I was like, "Just did. Good. You want to meet up for coffee?" "Sure thing." So I had a coffee with him. It was delusional as hell. She cracked up laughing. She thought it was great. Like she was just like, I was just this. Whoa, what the hell?
Yeah. Were you were high? I imagine.
I was delusional. It was just
another place.
It was completely like I don't even think I was coherent for some of the words I was saying.
Yeah.
There was just like nothing left in the system.
Because I know for me, whenever I push myself like to a a limit, not like that, but to some degree, it's like a state where you almost are watching yourself from another perspective, and you're just like, look at this little blind pool that doesn't you're stumbling around, and you feel like high as fuck, and like just the signals from the brain to whatever part of the body are just so delayed. It's like move, speak. It's a weird sensation. So that must have just been like intense. Like
that was the more intense part came after the coffee because
caffeine is there as well.
Well, the caffeine was good. I needed the caffeine because me being me, always saying that the job's got to get done. I booked a client at 9 o'clock.
That's right. I remember hearing this. And I was like, "Who the fuck is this dude?"
Just because it was either I was going to get a quick 3 hours sleep and go perform, or 2.5 hours sleep and go do this client, or I was just going to run it through. And I had this coffee, and I was like, you know what? Let's get another one. I'm just going to run this through, see it through.
Yeah.
Got my could be like 8th win by that point. And had a great session with the client because even they were like, she was going, I was expecting you to, I was waiting to see this text saying I can't make it because I put up these posts on the story because I'm still trying to get new to this whole put out my stories on Instagram. I've just always done this. I just never. So this was one of my first things I was putting out on the stories continuously, and that she was like, I just saw your shit. Are you still live? Like, yeah, we're still on in 30 minutes. You better get your ass here.
Holy shit.
So she was shocked by that too.
And so you had like you said you had your 8th win. Were you actually kind of, you were there?
I was there. I was. She was quite surprised. She thought I was going to be a stupor against the wall and do this and that. But she was like, no, come on, let's do this. Did a few burpees with her, make her move her butt and stuff. And if anything, she said he hated it because I was like, I've just been up you saw what I did. Come on, you got no excuse why you can't do this shit.
No client wants to come to a PT session after a trainer's just been through that. Okay, shit. So then, what was the rest of that day like? You just...
Well, after that, I do the one thing I always do because I brought up in the country. I figured I've earned my beer. So
nice.
it was about 12 o'clock now, so God knows how long I've been up for. Too freaking long. Yeah, grabbed a few beers, just sat down, watched a bit of telly, having a few beers until the next thing you know, I'm out like a light until I think it was about 3 o'clock. I fell asleep and then I woke up at 8. My wife always said, come on, let's take you to bed. And then I went to bed and had another 12 hours sleep.
What's your favourite beer?
At the moment, XPA Bolters.
Oh, the Bolters, okay.
I love the Bolters. Yeah. That's why I'm going to run to the brewery.
True. Fair enough.
They've really been enjoyable to have.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Okay, shit. Wow, okay. What a story. I just love that story, man. I remember... I called up with my mate Brendan. I told you about after I listened to it. I was like, "Hey, bro, you got to listen to this podcast. This is right up your alley. You'll love it." It's really cool. So, have you got any other plans for crazy physical feats in the?
As I said, I got the 75k run. I'm going to do. It's exactly 75k from my front door to the Bolter Brewery down in Currumbin.
Yep.
Going down the service road engine.
Of course. Yeah.
And I'm doing that in my Vivo thongs, which is those barefoot thongs.
Yeah, cool. I'll leave a link to those in the description for you guys to check out because they're pretty cool.
Yeah. That's one of them. I want to do a 24-hour challenge across 3 gyms this time. Okay. So I want to do one starting at the Underwood one where I was at. Where I did the 12-hour, do a few workouts there. Go to Southside Fitness, Southside Worlds.
Yeah.
So run from there to there. Do a bunch of workouts and some training there. Then hop on a push bike and ride down to the Gold Coast, hit up Raw Iron, and finish off the 24-hour challenge there with a bunch of more workouts.
Fuck. Okay.
That's the next thing.
That's insane. That's
while
awesome.
trying to just compete in Spartan races as well.
Okay. One workout I heard of, a 24-hour one, I think Brendan even might have told me about it, was a 24-hour every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
Have you heard of them before?
They
cool too.
Yeah, there's ones like they did. There's the AMRAP ones they do. That's very the fundraiser one. Comtrain Ben Bergeron. They did one for the heroes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hero WOD and everything like that. So it was a hero WOD every hour on the hour.
Yeah.
And that
might have been what I was talking about.
Yeah, that one was a good one to watch. I mean, some of the workouts went for an hour, some went for like 20 minutes, so you get that ups and downs.
Yeah.
I've looked at those and again, there's that bit where I want to find that breaking point that it's just
yeah,
can't get there anymore because
right. Okay, so you want to get to the point where you just bomb out. You're like I can't.
Yeah,
do this.
the 12-hour the beautiest thing about when I did that
Mm.
wasn't the actual 12 hours itself. It's what happened afterwards.
Mm.
I had finished that, and I just noticed so many things that might have stressed me were nowhere near at all, even on my radar anymore.
Yeah.
I wasn't even upset about thinking about missing out on the 12-hour hurricane heat that I was originally training for, because at the point I was like, I want to see how far I can take this on my own.
Mm.
Like I'm definitely doing it this year. I've already got my ticket and everything set up when that comes up for it. That's happening this year. But yeah, last year, at the end of last year, it was more like I wanted to see how far, and even now I just want to see how far I can push myself.
Yeah.
Because not many people, everyone talks about they need coaches and stuff like that because they just can't go to those places and stuff. And it's like, I collaborate with coaches, help with some techniques and stuff like that. But in the end, when it comes to doing something dark and putting myself in a way where I discover a new version of myself, that's where I strive for myself. That's where I thrive for myself.
Yeah.
Like, I remember doing a workout at the end of last year, and it was, again, another really cool workout. It was 30 sandbag over the shoulders, but the sandbag was a body weight.
Oh, fuck.
And that, so, well, sorry, I lied. Yeah, actually, no, I was 102 at this point because I'd lost a lot of weight. So, yeah, it was about 102 kilos. And I had to go over each shoulder. So you couldn't just do one all the time, alternating. But at the start of every minute, for the first 5 minutes, you had to do 15 burpees.
Oh, fuck.
And then 2 reps would get knocked off. So this was an adaptation of Brian Tosh's one he did with the guys' Mayhem team, where they did it with muscle-ups and stuff. That was like 40 muscle-ups, ring muscle-ups. So it was a skill-based. But I didn't want a skill-based. I wanted something that was like
slog it out.
Grinder, yeah. So this was like, you had to be quick. Otherwise, you were just doing... And there was a couple minutes I was doing burpees.
Yeah, right.
And I remember like, again, this was one of those ones where I had the plan. I was going to get at least 1 clean every minute on the minute.
Yeah.
Plan went out the window. That did not happen. There was at least about 3. I got the first 2 minutes. That I got that. Then the next 2 minutes was just burpees. I got another one. Then there was another 3 minutes of burpees. I just remember doing burpees and having this smile on my face, thinking like, you could have just called it quits and rested the minute, but you've done it. You keep going, pushing the suck. Even like at one point where I did a clean, threw it over, and I was already 10 seconds in the next minute, so I knew I wasn't going to get it. I was like, no, dropped down and did the burpees.
Yeah.
And again, like, it broke me. It took me 42 minutes to do that. So basically 42 minutes of burpees.
Yeah.
And it was, again, another one of those workouts that I went in with the desire to try and do something to challenge me, and I came out with something that just completely changed my mindset almost. And just opened up even more new possibilities of where I could go with all this.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's unreal. So, we'll wrap it up shortly, but I want to ask a couple of questions that are more so like sort of, performance related and human capability kind of things. So, like, what does the word fitness mean to you?
Fitness to me is you should be able to run and carry and support someone.
Yeah,
okay. That's what fitness means to me, is be able to move yourself and be able to carry. That's all I think is really fitness, because those are the things that inevitably could allow you to survive. So fitness is about survive.
Yeah.
You should be able to, if your car's broken down, are you going to sit there on the side of the road if your phone's not working?
So like fight or flight.
Yeah.
It should be able to support you within either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you never know the situations. Like, for another one I just had on Monday, I was starting a new gym because this other gym, my contract with them finished. And when I locked myself out of the gym, and this is in West End. Have you ever been in West End in Brisbane?
Probably.
Okay. Yeah, so West End's sort of like one of those places where it's like low and high classes all sort of merged together, sort of thing.
Is it kind of a hipster area?
Yeah, hipster spot. Yeah. So near South Bank, basically. Yeah. So I locked myself out of this gym. No wallet, no phone, no shoes. Now I could have sat there because the guy, my mate who runs it, wasn't due back till about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah. This was at 12.
Yeah.
So I could have spent 4 hours in the sun sitting there like a bum.
Yeah.
Instead, I went for a run.
Oh, nice.
And this is where I loved about my ability that I've learned with running mechanics. This was completely barefoot, rough as guts roads here and there. I ran over to South Bank, did a train in the park, ran somewhere else, came back. The cafe had their phone on, gave a mate a quick call. He's like, yeah, I'll come in at 2. So I got a nice full workout in.
Yeah.
But I got that was a moment, and that to me is what I get fitness, is being able to be adapt at a situation and still better yourself. Instead of being sitting there like, oh, I sat here for 4 hours, baked in the sun, looking like a bum because I just couldn't get in.
Yeah.
That doesn't benefit me in any way. I just sit there.
Yeah. No, I totally get that. I had another one on my head, like right then, and it just ran away. What was it? Shit. I remember like watching it go. Yeah. You know, when you're like, you got something, and then it's just like disappearing. You're like, come back.
Absolutely.
It's like, oh no, fuck. What's happened? Crikey. Okay, let's change. I'll come back to that. But so what I was going to ask beforehand was, did you ever feel the desire, or have you served in the army before?
No.
Did you go down that path? No.
I would have liked to, but to me, I made the choice of getting married instead.
Okay, right.
I've been a product of growing up in it. It's not ideal for family, and my wife and I have a really great relationship. We're close together. I've been married for 6 years now, going on 7. And she really likes having around. I enjoy having around because she also helps what I like to call humanize me a bit.
Yeah, cool.
You know, she lets me know it's okay to actually have a break here, like rest up and stuff like that if I should be resting. So she takes care of the side where I might not look after her.
Yeah.
But through her influence, I was able to take a big dive into the yin side of life, you know, being very yang dominant and stuff, and that opened up a whole new other world that I've been experimenting with breath work and everything like that.
Cool.
Even more, like I was already studying breath, but now it's into the way of it, how it can open up spiritually and stuff, and how that helps with performance and stuff. So that's why I never went into the army, because it was either, to me, the army is a great thing if you're single and then you want your career, but for me, as with my partner and stuff, she's not what we call an army wife. You know, she doesn't want to be on her own for postings and postings. And as she puts it, it's one of those things she knows I wouldn't be able to do just the bare minimum. I want the next step. I want the next step. If there's a posting or something overseas and they need me over there, I'm on it.
Yeah.
So that's why I never went into any of the defence forces and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Services.
okay. Yeah, fair enough. No, that's good. Okay, I remembered.
Yep.
As a running coach, or like having studied running a fair bit, do you run on the balls? Here we go. Let's answer this question. Do you run on the balls of your feet or on the heel? Ball first, heel first?
Midfoot.
Midfoot.
So running, this is where the thing is. People think they get focused on where they're running, like saying, oh, I've got to stay on my toes, or I've got to stay on my heels and stuff like that. But it actually, you can run on any one of those. It's actually the way you run. It's the way your foot comes in contact with it. Like, it's not which comes first. Like, yes, balls and midfoot are the best, but your heel can touch too. It's actually the best way when people look at running. When they're running, they're treating it like constantly pressing, like constantly doing a leg press. That's why everyone says, oh, my quads are so jacked up. Yeah. Running is more like skipping. It's a skill of rebounding from the ground, but it's also like a combination of, so I always tell people, when you see basketballers and they spin the ball on their finger, when they want to keep it spinning, they're not going whack. They're flicking it. They're going across the side. That's what running is. You are just pulling yourself through across the surface.
It's a continuation of momentum. Yeah. See, like something that I always witness, because I love to just observe people. I find it really interesting, obviously. And I just find, like, it's funny because you see most people run on the heels of their feet. And most people run in a really counterproductive way. They run as if they're holding themselves back. It's just like lazy running, right? Where they're running almost on the spot. Like, you know, it's strange to watch. But then you see, and they're leant back and they're just sort of, you know, up and down on the spot. But if you run on the balls of your feet, or sort of with a slight lean forward, you find that your weight carries you, and then your feet are sort of merely there just to keep you up. Yeah. And running becomes strangely a whole lot easier.
if you look at the way people run and land, and then go watch how a horse moves, you'll notice the way that people run is the same way that a horse brakes.
Right. Yeah.
Both their hooves go out the front, they stop, and everyone's running goes out.
Yeah.
It comes through, it goes out, it comes through. But when a horse is in full gallop and stride, it has the reach out, but by the time those hooves come in, they're either under or behind it until they come in contact.
Yeah.
And that's the running style.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's the best way to run. Is it's pulling the ground under you.
Yeah.
But it's only just touching. It's not this big reach out. People make the mistake of I want to go faster, so I should take bigger steps. It's like no, you actually want to keep the same steps. You want to lean forward. But if you watch a horse gallop and brake, and then go watch someone run on their heels, it is just constant braking. That's literally what they're doing.
Totally. I see it all the time. It's just like, this doesn't make any sense. That's really true. I love that analogy. That's really good. I think a lot of it's in the lean.
Yeah.
Just making, you want to go that way, show that. Be that. Like, that's the way I'm going to go.
Well,
my body's
how does a kid learn to walk first? They lean and then try, and then they constantly follow and catch themselves.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we do.
Yeah.
We should be doing.
Yeah, that's it. Beautiful. All right. We'll wrap it up. But last couple of questions for you that I have for all my guests. I've got two. First of all, I'll start with this one because it's quite relative to this. Greatest challenge you've overcome in your life, or fear that you've faced, kind of thing. Would it be what we've discussed, or would you say something else?
Actually, my biggest fear that I ever overcome was surfing. And learning, but getting comfortable at being held underwater.
Okay, under the waves.
Yeah, because as I was talking to my tattooist today, I surfed in Ballina at one point when I was a kid and got caught in a massive rip. I never really got back into surfing, and then when I started learning to surf again from my father-in-law, it was just paddle ski. I always used to freak out when I got dunked and stuff, and I could never get comfortable until then when I started surfing and learning breath hold. And I had to face my fear at this point because I got barreled up in the surf that my leg rope got wrapped around both my feet.
Oh, shit.
So I got pulled under for about 2 to 3 waves.
Oh.
And that's where I learned, I actually found the peace. That's the fear I overcame from because instead of freaking out, I was like, no, come on, you can hold your breath for 5 minutes. Relax. And I did. Next year the waves settled a bit. Leg broke out and I came up, and to me it was like, you just had what the worst thing could happen.
Yeah, you're fine.
So that was.
For those that don't believe him on 5 minutes, try Wim Hof. It'll blow your mind. I imagine that's what you do.
No, I did do Wim Hof, but I've actually done a lot more other stuff. Going back to traditional pranayama and stuff like that, and Bakoto and so everything. And now there's just a lot more apps that help you just do some good oxygenated carbon dioxide training. And because that's also what I do, is I teach that as a workshop and everything. Because I'm actually asthmatic.
Right.
But I haven't seen a puffer or a doctor in about 4 years for that stuff.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, and this is all the stuff again, helping people. This is how I help people by teaching stuff I learned myself.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, we could talk about human optimization, to use Aubrey's terms, for so long. But anyway. And okay, the last one for you. What's the best piece of life advice you've ever been given or you've come across?
It's an interesting one.
This is tricky.
Yeah. Best one I'd have to say would be the thing I get from my dad told me. Said, go to bed and wake up tomorrow because it's another day.
Nice. So simple, so profound. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. The sun will come up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bet your bottom dollar.
Everyone got to discover that on the other day when Facebook and Instagram was down.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone was deleting my app and reinstalling it, thinking that it was my phone.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh man, this has been a pleasure, dude.
Definitely.
I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming on and sharing the story with us, because man, I loved it. I hope it inspired some of you guys, and I'm sure it did. It's really cool, and hopefully we'll have another chat again soon. And I mean, maybe someday you can put me through my paces.
Yeah, sure thing. I definitely will. But hey, you got to meet me for that beer when I go for that run.
Oh, fuck yeah, 100%, man.
Thanks, man.
Good to meet you.
Good stuff, man.
Thank you, dude. All right, bro. We'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in again. If you would like to support the podcast, the best way that you can do that is to leave a review, or if you're watching on YouTube, give it a like and leave me a comment. A huge thank you in advance if you do. I'm extremely grateful. I hope you enjoyed this week's podcast as much as I did, and don't forget to tune in next week. New podcasts drop every Sunday. Big love.